I'm Tara Schwartz. You're listening to Health Matters. A few weeks ago, the MUHC Foundation launched a campaign for World Cancer Day. Our goal was to fundraise to support cutting edge cancer research and personalized cancer care. During the week, we had several patients who shared their cancer care journey. Michael Goodman is on the board of directors of the MUHC Foundation, and he was inspired by the campaign to share his own experience. Michael is also the president of Orange Phoenix Holdings, and he joins us now. Hello, Michael.
Hi Tara, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. So it was really moving and inspirational to read your story that you put out on LinkedIn. What inspired you? Tell us a little bit more about that inspiration to sort of, open up about your own journey.
Wow, yeah. Well, I have to thank Edith Bolduc from the foundation for giving me a strong push, and Claire Trottier, former board member of the MUHC Foundation, shared her story. Really, very moving experience of her own,
Mm,
and having gone through my experience with cancer about 13 years ago, never really shared publicly. I was very young,
yeah.
maybe a little bit even embarrassed about it in different ways, and so I felt as someone that really should or could lend a voice, that has a following, that has a support network. I thought it was very important to step up and share my story if I could.
And you did, and it was incredibly moving. Can you tell us now? Can you open up a little bit now about the kind of cancer that you had when you suspected
Yeah,
something was wrong with your health? Tell us a little bit about your story.
yeah. Unfortunately, there's a family history with melanoma, skin
Okay.
cancer, very fast, aggressive spreading type cancer that took the life of my late great uncle Jerry, my grandfather, Herbert Goodman's younger brother, far too young in life. So growing up, sorry if I get a little emotional, but growing up as a kid, always told to stay out of the sun, always be careful if there's something changing on your body, and so very mindful of that. Had something appear on my shoulder that I picked up in a photograph with my son that was just a newborn at the time, and had it checked out. Was originally dismissed. It's not always obvious when you see it, the characteristics of melanoma. Sometimes it's very obvious, but sometimes it's not. And I dismissed it. Years went by, and thankfully one day I was in my grandfather's office, and was brave enough to tell him about it. I was afraid that he would get mad that I never had it removed, and thankfully with his intervention, they were able to get to it quickly enough, and it saved my life.
What was it like to receive that diagnosis when you got it?
Very scary. I was 27.
Oh,
I was very
wow.
young, even younger. I don't know, 26 at the time, and married, had my first child, and they didn't know at the time from the first biopsy how far it had gone, but from the depth of invasion, they knew that it was in the realm of stage 3, and had to operate right away. I was very scared, knowing that maybe this was it for me, and yeah, as a young person, you just never expect something like that. You plan for your future, you plan for your life, and all of a sudden, everything flashes before your eyes. So it's yeah, that was a tough time, but thank goodness
Yeah, it sounds
I
like it.
was very fortunate.
It's incredible to hear you talk like this, Michael, because I have known you for a couple of years now, and like you said, it's not something that you've talked about publicly. Why is that? Why is it that you felt that you didn't want to share your story? I understand
um,
privacy. Was there something beyond that?
yeah, um, I, I I I always thought it would come back. I felt
Mm,
that I never beat it. Always had this feeling inside that I don't know, my story was a tragic one. That my life story would be a tragic one. I still think that way sometimes. Try not to, but um,
right,
so yeah, never want to put it out there to say I beat it or it's gone.
right.
When you're always afraid that it could come back.
Michael Goodman, as you just heard, is a cancer survivor. He's also on the board of directors of the MUHC Foundation. He shared his story. I would love to know, Michael, what the reaction was once you posted your story after so long of not telling anybody. What was that reaction like? What were people saying?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, close friends, people that were with me at that time, would remember. So it's almost like going back in time, and just reflecting on how I've been able to really truly live a life rooted in purpose. It was a gift. It really was a gift. It changed my life. So many people don't have that opportunity, and I never take that for granted. I never forget it. It's probably the biggest reason why I do everything that I do in community and foundation work, for sure, without a question, is for that, is to give back, to elevate others, to live a life with meaning. And I guess the reactions around my broader network that maybe didn't know me 13 years ago, were really shocked, but not surprised to see that there's a lot of now sense in a young person's life that has been so dedicated to community over the last decade. Maybe all those pieces started to really come together. It's not a natural thing to be such a young person and do the type of work that I've done over the last decade.
And now that you have shared your story, has it changed how you feel about your diagnosis or what you lived through?
It's a good question.
Hmm.
It's very fresh. It was just a few days ago. I haven't had much time to
Right.
reflect on it, but I felt really good. I felt very proud. I was afraid as a young person at that time that if that was the end of my story, that my life wouldn't have had meaning, that I would have lived almost without having left any real legacy or of having had an impact. That was very scary to me. So looking back now and seeing all the work that I've done, I've done it. I can say now that if the universe decided to take me today, I feel very accomplished, and I feel very fulfilled in the impact that I've been able to have. So I look back and say, okay, Michael, job well done. You did it. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I'm definitely not just getting started, but feel really good about what I've been able to accomplish.
And one of those accomplishments is, as a board member for the MUHC Foundation, you get to learn about all of the, incredibly innovative and fascinating research and personalized cancer care treatments that the MUHC Foundation is fundraising. You are one of the people that helps direct where that money goes. Is that one of the reasons that you're lending your voice to support fundraising in general, and particularly for World Cancer Day?
Absolutely. I believe there's very little that's more important than the work that we're championing today at the MUHC Foundation. It affects literally every and any stage of life, whether you're in a treatment, whether you're in a support program, whether you're part of a clinical trial and able to get access to novel therapeutics, and even as a donor, and you're not on the patient end, you have the opportunity to be inspired. You have the opportunity to contribute to a brighter tomorrow. I mean, fast forward 10, 13 years later, they don't treat melanoma today the way they treated it 13 years ago. The rate of innovation and the brilliance of some of the most amazing researchers from across the globe now call the MUHC their home. And we have the privilege of being part of that transformation and making unbelievably important contributions to our community.
A beautiful note to end on. Michael Goodman, I want to thank you so much for your time today and for your bravery in telling your story, because it was really, really inspirational. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you, Tara. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and everything that you do.